Picture a man teetering on a wooden ladder, a bucket of soapy water swinging from his hand, charging 5 cents to wash one window. 60 years later, that same man's name would sit atop one of the largest building service companies on earth, worth billions of dollars. His name was Morris Rosenberg. In 1907, he stepped off a ship in San Francisco, a Jewish immigrant from Latvia with almost nothing to his name. No English, no family fortune, no connections in a city still rebuilding from a devastating earthquake that had flattened half its skyline. What he did have was a squeegee, a ladder, and a stubborn willingness to climb higher than anyone else was willing to go. He started washing windows for shopkeepers who barely noticed him, one storefront at a time, block by block, nickel by nickel. San Francisco in 1909 was a city desperate to look new again, and every rebuilt office wanted clean glass to prove it had survived. Rosenberg saw an opportunity nobody else wanted to touch. Dirty windows on brand new buildings looked like an unfinished promise. He didn't just wash windows. He showed up earlier, worked later, and never missed a single day, rain or shine, for years. Building owners started asking for him by name. Word spread through downtown faster than he could ever climb his ladder. By the time he'd saved enough, Rosenberg partnered with another cleaner and turned a one-man hustle into an actual company. They called it American Building Maintenance, a name far grander than the two-man operation it actually described at the time. But the ambition wasn't false advertising. It was a promise, one Rosenberg intended to spend the rest of his life keeping. He believed that if you could clean one window well, you could clean an entire building, and then 100 more. The company grew quietly through the 1920s, picking up contracts for banks, department stores, and office towers rising across the city. Every new skyscraper meant more windows, more floors, more of the invisible work nobody else wanted to do. Then came the Great Depression. Half the businesses in America were folding, but buildings still needed cleaning no matter what. Rosenberg's company kept its crews employed by underpricing rivals who couldn't survive the downturn. Crisis became his quiet advantage. World War II brought another twist. With men shipped overseas, the company hired women to run crews and manage accounts. That decision kept operations running when rivals collapsed for lack of labor. Necessity had built a workforce that outlasted the war. By the 1950s, what had started as one immigrant's ladder and bucket had become a regional powerhouse across California. The company that once couldn't afford a second ladder now employed thousands of workers spread across dozens of cities. In 1962, the company took its biggest leap yet, listing its shares on the New York Stock Exchange for the first time. It was a stunning transformation for a business built on nickels and elbow grease. Wall Street was suddenly investing in window washing. The stock ticker didn't spell glamour, but investors understood something simple. Buildings always get dirty, and someone always has to clean them. It was one of the most boring, most reliable businesses imaginable, and that reliability was exactly the point all along. Through the 1970s and 80s, the company kept expanding by buying up smaller janitorial and maintenance firms across the country. One contract, one city, one building at a time, the same way Rosenberg had once built its storefront by storefront. In 1985, the company rebranded under a new name that would become far more recognizable across the entire country. Gone was the modest, hyperlocal sound of its old title. In its place stood a name built for a national stage. By the 1990s, the company wasn't just washing windows anymore. It managed parking garages, security teams, and elevator maintenance too. It serviced airports, hospitals, and stadiums, keeping buildings running for millions of people who never noticed the work at all. The irony was almost poetic. The company built by a man nobody noticed on a ladder became an empire built on being unnoticed. Today, that company generates billions of dollars in annual revenue and employs roughly 100,000 people worldwide. It services facilities across the United States and beyond, from corporate headquarters to major league sports arenas. Its market value has swung well past $2 billion, built on a business model most people overlook completely. Someone has to clean the building. Someone has to fix what breaks inside it. That simple truth became a fortune. Morris Rosenberg never lived to see his company become a household name on the stock exchange floor decades later. He died long before the term facility services industry even existed as a phrase anyone used in business schools. But every contract signed today traces back to a single decision made in 1909, one man choosing to climb a ladder. He decided that cleaning windows wasn't beneath him. It was simply the first rung on a very long ladder ahead. There's a strange lesson hiding inside a story about window washing, one most people never stop to consider. The unglamorous work nobody wants to brag about is sometimes exactly what scales the longest and outlasts every flashier competitor. Rosenberg didn't dream of yachts or headlines. He dreamed of the next building, the next contract, the next block downtown. That narrow, relentless focus is what quietly turned a soap bucket into a listing on the stock exchange. Somewhere in a city right now, a maintenance crew is cleaning an office tower before sunrise, invisible to everyone inside. One of those crews might belong to the very company built from a single ladder back in 1909. The next time you walk past a spotless building, remember someone had to start at the bottom, scrubbing the lowest windows first. Empires aren't always built in boardrooms. Sometimes they're built one nickel, one window, and one overlooked contract at a time. If ordinary people building extraordinary fortunes from the unlikeliest beginnings keep you hooked, subscribe for more true billionaire stories.